Israel Adesanya responds to unique 14-fight streak that ends in next UFC bout. Israel Adesanya is set to compete in his first non-title fight in 6 years. Adesanya is a former two-time UFC middleweight champion, having defended the 185-pound strap a whopping 7 times. He faces Nassourdine Imavov in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on February 1, 2025, following consecutive losses in title fights this year. Interestingly, as well as it being his first non-title fight in 6 years, the bout will be Adesanya's first fight on a non-pay-per-view card since 2018. Adesanya has competed in 14 successive UFC PPV cards over the past 6 years. But his fight with Francis, the Sniper, Imavov is part of a UFC Fight Night card, and also features Shera Magomedov facing London's Michael Page in the co-main event. "I still get paid," Adesanya said, when pressed on if it feels strange to find himself on a Fight Night card. "There's still a referee, it's 2 of us in there, there's a crowd. It's not like in the effing Apex or something, so it doesn't feel any different. I think people are making it out to be something how they would react to it, but they're not in my shoes. They're not in my shorts. It's different." Adesanya contended for 2-division championship status just 3 years ago after moving up to light heavyweight to fight Jan Blachowicz at UFC 259. Although he lost the bout after 5 rounds by unanimous decision, the last style-bender put up a strong showing, and proceeded to cement his name as the middleweight king in his following 3 bouts. Current light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira then arrived on the scene and disrupted the path of the Nigerian-born New Zealander. The 35-year-old dropped his middleweight belt for the first time in November 2022 to Pereira in his 7th defense of the title. He won the subsequent rematch at UFC 287 by knocking the Brazilian out in round 2, before shockingly losing the first defense of his new reign to Sean Strickland. Adesanya was then submitted at UFC 305 in August by Dricus du Plessis, who beat Strickland for the belt and rematches him in Australia for UFC 312 next year. "It's a Saudi Arabia fight night, first of all," Adesanya added. "I still get paid. It still feels like you're fighting Israel Adesanya. This is the biggest fight of his life. I have to be the one to halt that. It still feels the same. It doesn't feel any different. Like I said, people who don't do what I do, they're the ones that are saying that, because of their ego." Adesanya's first title fight in Dana White's promotion took place 5 years ago at UFC 236. He battled Kelvin Gastelum for the interim middleweight belt in Atlanta, Georgia. On the same card Dustin Poirier beat Max Holloway for the second time. That bout was Adesanya's 4th on a UFC PPV card since making his debut in 2018 at UFC 221. His next, against Imavov, will be his first fight on a non-PPV card since he took on Brad Tavares at the Ultimate Fight 27 finale.